dear students. Today is day 5 of lockdown and I've been thinking what to shoot and what medium to use. I have some limited art material here, but today I'm going to show you the technique of using watercolor. So from childhood, we have all used watercolors and dabbled in watercolor, but this is one medium. If you want to attain some professional expertise in this, you have to practice a lot. And in this coming 4 or 5 episodes, I'm going to tell you the do's and don'ts and various techniques which I have also learned through practice. And remember, practice makes a man perfect. There are some do's and don'ts about using watercolor. So if you follow them, you will have a better outcome of your watercolor painting. The first and foremost mistake sometimes we do is of using ordinary paper like cartridge paper or ivory sheet to do watercolors. This is the best quality of watercolor paper which is available, Canson and cold pressed. This is the ideal watercolor paper that you must have in order to achieve the desired results. So I'm using these very soft brushes and they are of different numbers. The thinnest one is a 000 brush and this is for taking out the finer details. There is a pencil and eraser and some watercolor cake. I have taken some drinking water in a cup over here, but I have also filled up water in this tray. I'm going to attempt to make a life study. I have set up a still life. It's a vase with 2 wooden spoons. And I'm going to attempt to make this. The reason why I have filled up water in these compartments is for easy use. There is also a waste cloth. One important thing I want to say at this point is that the term watercolor means a medium which has got more of water than color. People often mistake watercolor to be poster color and they try to use thick paint. But for watercolor painting, please understand that water has to be a larger component of your painting than the color itself. The first and foremost thing we have to do is to draw out your still life with a very, very light pencil. These lines are just guidelines for your painting because watercolor has got so much of transparency that if you make these lines very dark, it will be very difficult to erase them and they will show through the painting. I'm going to very quickly sketch out this still life. It is a good idea to wet the surface a little bit, which is inside the drawing. Please don't load your artwork with a whole lot of water, otherwise the color will just run here and there and it will be very difficult to control the color. So I'm first going to try and paint the vase. That's why I have just applied a thin layer of water on it. This watercolor painting box has got only 24 shades, so I have to create some of the shades. You must make sure that your brushes are clean all the time and you don't want to get it all dirty. Otherwise the paint will look dirty. Try to use one family of colors together. Now this vase has got different shades of burnt sienna and ochre. some places it has got blue and green. But I'm not going to do the blue and green areas at the moment. To darken the brown, I'm going to use a bit of Prussian blue. Again, please keep in mind the play of light and shade. I'm going to now switch the brush and take a thinner brush. This box is of Camel watercolors, and even in 24 shades it has a nice variety of browns, blues, greens and reds. The first principle that we learn about watercolor painting is that this is a medium which goes from light to dark. So first we paint all the shades, all the portions of that work which are supposed to be in light, and then slowly we add the depth. Since this paper is the proper paper for using watercolors, it is holding the color very well. It is absorbing the correct amount of moisture and giving all the tones and depths that I want to give in this work. Just like pencil colors, I'm slowly building layer upon layer to increase the shade. If there are two different colors and they are wet, it is better to leave a slight gap which we can fill in later when both the surfaces are dry. Otherwise the color will run into each other. Fascinating to drop a little bit of color and see it form its own shape. This is a color which I have created by mixing burnt umber and Prussian blue. I will, as a principle, never try and use black. Now I'm just going to leave this to dry, and I will add some fine details using a very thin brush after it is 100% dry. whenever you want to attempt watercolors and you want to do a still life, find an interesting object in your home. Like I found this beautiful terracotta vase. Place it near a window or somewhere where there is different types of light and shade which is playing on the object. Assemble all the material, watercolor, brushes, the paper, and attempt to do it. If you have liked this episode of watercolor painting, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, be safe. Till we meet again the next time, bye.